Hi, I'm montze.t, and this is Avalon. And today we're going to be doing the first option of the CRE 5. And after discussing how physical, Americans are towards each other, we're going to be discussing what perception she is influenced throughout the culture of violence. So my first question to Avalon today would be, what factors influence your perception of violent crimes and terrorism in today's life?
I think personally, for the most part, I look at the news and social media when I'm looking at the certain words like typically there is the word terrorism, violent crime in there, and so for me, I'm specifically for these words to kind of differentiate between what I consider like petty crimes, smaller crimes, and what would be considered violent terrorism.
Okay, and how does violent crimes or terrorism affect you mentally or emotionally and into your day-to-day life? As we're college students, so how can this be an implementation throughout your day or life here at Texas A&M?
Yeah, so especially with mass media happening now, I believe that I've become extremely desensitized to violent crime and terrorism just because I see all of it all the time. You know, you see school shootings happening, especially for us specifically on campus. We've gotten bomb threats, and people don't worry about it anymore. They don't close the school down, they just close the part of the school down that has the threat. And I think the way that people respond to it and just the mass amount of things that I've seen, I've become more emotionally unaware, more distant, more desensitized. And it used to affect me a lot in my day-to-day life, and it would really upset me. But now I just see it all the time. So it's, I guess, less startling, less shocking.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And so that being said, it affects you emotionally and how you live your day-to-day life in some ways. So what solutions do you think would or could be implemented to reduce the intentional killings that happen within our nation?
So I know there is mostly people go to jail for their crimes, and then I think that prison reform is super important, and I think that as people go through these programs instead of being punished constantly for their crimes and you get into this cycle, I think that reforming people is extremely important, giving them access to therapy, giving them access to kind of amend for their crimes is very important.
Okay, and once discussing that, what obstacles stand in the way of these implementations? What do you think could be something that couldn't make this feasible?
Yeah, so it's extremely expensive, and obviously not everyone can be reformed. So it's choosing the right people that you see that can be reformed, being able to be guilty or being able to feel that guilt behind it, and it's extremely expensive too. Like you can't do this with everyone, and I think that's a difficult decision to make ethically, morally, picking and choosing who gets this kind of program and ability to do this, and then also using taxpayer money to do all these programs, hire the kind of people, and the right kind of people is going to be extremely expensive, because if you get people that don't make enough money, you're not going to get the most quality people inside of these jobs, and then the projects aren't going to work because you're not getting what you need. You're just getting the bottom of the barrel, low quality.
Yeah, I completely see that. All right, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.